This is not normal. Something inside your body is resetting right now. And no, this is not motivation. This is not mindset. This is something real, something deeper. Your body is responding to a command you didn't consciously give. Think about it. Lately, haven't you felt something shifting? Your energy feels different. Your thoughts feel sharper, or maybe heavier. Your awareness, more intense than usual. You can't fully explain it. And that's because this isn't coming from the outside. It's happening within you. And once you understand who initiated this reset, everything about your life will start to make sense. So don't skip this, because what's happening to you right now has already begun. Listen carefully, chosen one. You were not led here by accident. Out of millions of people scrolling right now, you stopped here. That alone should tell you something. Because messages like this, they don't reach everyone. They reach the ones who are ready. And whether you realize it or not, something has already started inside you. A shift, a deep internal recalibration. That is changing the way your body, your mind, and your spirit operate. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. The version of you that felt stuck, tired, limited, is beginning to dissolve. Not slowly, not someday, right now. You are not moving forward the way the world expects. You are being pulled into a different frequency, one where your energy begins to rise, your clarity begins to sharpen, and your presence begins to change. And yes, people will notice, even before you fully understand it yourself. Because when your internal state shifts, your external reality has no choice but to follow. But here is what most people will never understand. This kind of transformation does not feel comfortable at first, feels unfamiliar, feels intense. Sometimes, it even feels confusing, because your old identity is losing control. The habits, the patterns, the version of you that was built on survival is being replaced, and your system is trying to adjust. That's why you feel different. That's why your reactions are changing. That's why certain things no longer feel right. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding what you were never meant to be. And here is the truth you need to hear right now. You cannot step into your next level while holding onto your old identity. It's impossible. Something has to go. Something has to break. Something has to reset. And that's exactly what's happening inside you. Your body is not working against you. It is responding. Your mind is not confused. It is reorganizing. Your spirit is not lost. It is waking up. And the more you resist this, the heavier it will feel. But the moment you accept it, everything begins to accelerate. Clarity increases. Energy stabilizes. Confidence rises. And suddenly, you start recognizing yourself again. Not the old version, but a stronger, sharper, more aligned version of you. So I want you to do something right now. Pause for a second and ask yourself honestly, what if this is real? What if this shift you're feeling, this change you can't explain, is actually the beginning of your transformation? Because the moment you accept that possibility, you stop fighting the process and start moving with it. And once that happens, there is no going back. You won't be able to return to the version of you that was unaware. Because now, you've seen it, you've felt it, and deep down, you know something is changing. This is only the beginning. What comes next goes deeper into your body, into your energy, into your identity. So stay with me, because if you understand what's happening, you won't just witness this transformation. You will step fully into it. Now listen carefully, because what started within you is no longer just a feeling. It is becoming physical. Yes, your body is starting to respond. Not slowly, not randomly, but in a precise, intentional way. Something inside you has already sent the signal, and your body is obeying it. You may not fully see it yet, but you can feel it. There are moments where your energy suddenly shifts, moments where your body feels lighter or strangely active for no clear reason. Your sleep patterns may be changing. Your breathing feels deeper, your awareness sharper. This is not coincidence. This is response. Your system is recalibrating. Every part of you is adjusting to a new internal command. And that command is not coming from your old patterns. It is coming from a higher alignment. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It always listens to the strongest signal within you. For a long time, that signal was stress, doubt, survival, and your body adapted to it. It slowed down, conserved energy, protected itself. But now, that signal has changed, and your body has no choice but to adapt again. You are no longer operating from survival mode. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment sends a completely different message. Tells your body, you are safe, you can expand, you can restore. And the moment your body receives that signal, everything begins to shift. You may notice your posture changing. Without trying, you sit straighter, you stand taller, your breathing opens up, because your body is no longer collapsing inward. It is expanding outward. You may feel a sudden return of energy, not chaotic energy, but stable, grounded, powerful energy. The kind that doesn't burn out quickly, the kind that stays. And here is something important. Do not ignore this phase, because this is where most people lose the transformation. They feel the shift, but they doubt it. They question it. They go back to old thinking. And the moment they do that, the signal weakens. But you are not going to do that, because now you are aware. Your body is not broken. It is responding. Your system is not failing. It is upgrading. And upgrades often feel unfamiliar. There may be moments where you feel slightly uncomfortable, not because something is wrong, but because something is changing. Your nervous system is adjusting to a new level of energy. Your mind is reorganizing its patterns. Your body is releasing what it no longer needs. That's why you may feel restless at times, deeply calm at others, highly focused, then suddenly reflective. This is not instability. This is integration. You are integrating a new version of yourself, a version that operates differently, a version that does not function on the same limitations. And here is the truth. Your body remembers. It remembers what it feels like to be strong, to be energized, to be fully alive. That state was never lost. It was just buried under layers of stress and conditioning. And now, those layers are being removed. You are not becoming something new. You are returning to what you were always meant to be. This is why your movements may feel different, more fluid, more natural, less forced, because your body is no longer resisting itself. It is cooperating. And once your body and your internal state align, your external reality cannot stay the same. People will begin to notice, not because you tell them, but because they feel it. Your presence will shift. Your energy will feel different. And even if they can't explain it, they will recognize it, because alignment is visible. But listen carefully, because this next part matters. This process requires trust, not control, not force. Trust. You don't need to make this happen. It is already happening. Your only role is to not interrupt it. Stop doubting every change. Stop overanalyzing every feeling. Stop trying to go back to what was familiar, because what was familiar was limited, and you are no longer meant to stay there. You are moving into a different state, a different frequency, a different level of existence, and your body is leading the way. This is only getting stronger from here. What you're feeling now is just the beginning of the physical shift, because in the next phase, it goes even deeper, beyond the surface, beyond the obvious, into the core of who you are. So stay aware, stay present, and most importantly, stay open, because your body is not just changing, it is transforming into something far more aligned, far more powerful, and far more real than anything you've experienced before. Listen carefully, Because what is happening now goes beyond your body. It goes beyond your energy. This is about your identity. Up until now, you believed you were a certain person, a certain personality, a certain mindset, a certain version of yourself. But that version was never the full truth. It was a construction built over time, from experiences, from conditioning, from survival. And now, that construction is breaking. This is why things feel different, not just physically, but internally. You are thinking differently, reacting differently, seeing things you never noticed before. And sometimes, it even feels like you don't recognize yourself. That feeling, that is not confusion. That is separation. Separation from the old identity. The version of you that was shaped by fear, by limitations, by what you were told you could or couldn't be, is losing its grip. And a new identity is rising. Not one that you are creating manually, but one that was always there, waiting. This is your aligned self. The version of you that doesn't hesitate, that doesn't second-guess every move, that doesn't shrink to fit into environments that don't match. And as this version rises, you will start to notice something powerful. You can no longer pretend. You can't fake interest in things that don't matter. You can't force yourself to stay in spaces that drain you. You can't go back to thinking the way you used to, because your awareness has expanded. And once awareness expands, it never contracts back. This is why some connections may start to feel distant, not because something is wrong, but because something has changed. Your standards are shifting. Your tolerance is dropping. Your clarity is increasing. And this is where most people make a mistake. They try to hold on to old identities, old habits, old versions of themselves. But you cannot evolve while trying to remain the same. It doesn't work. This process requires release, letting go of who you thought you were so you can step into who you actually are. And yes, that can feel uncomfortable because identity is what feels familiar. But familiar does not always mean aligned. Sometimes familiar is just what you got used to. And now you are breaking out of that pattern. You are stepping into a version of yourself that operates differently. You will notice you speak with more clarity. You think with more precision. You act with more intention. Not because you are trying harder, but because you are becoming clearer. Clarity changes everything. When you are clear, you don't chase. You don't force. You don't overthink. You move directly, decisively, confidently. And that confidence is not coming from ego. It's coming from alignment. You are no longer asking, is this right for me? You are knowing. That shift alone changes your entire life, because decisions become easier, energy becomes stable, and your direction becomes undeniable. But listen carefully, because this next part is critical. As your identity changes, your reality must follow. Not later, not eventually. Starts now, because your external world is a reflection of your internal state. And when your internal state shifts this strongly, your environment cannot remain the same. Opportunities will change. Conversations will change. Even the way people respond to you will change. Some will feel drawn to you. Some will feel uncomfortable around you. And both are normal, because you are no longer matching the frequency you used to operate on. You are operating higher, clearer, stronger, and not everyone will align with that. And that's okay, because this process is not about staying the same. It's about becoming who you were meant to be, fully. And once this identity locks in, there is no going back. You won't be able to think small again. You won't be able to accept less again. You won't be able to ignore your own potential again. Because now, you've seen it, you've felt it, and you are stepping into it. This is the turning point, not the beginning, not the end. The turning point where everything starts to make sense, where everything starts to align, where everything starts to move. And from here, it only gets more powerful. Because what comes next is not just about you changing, it's about why this transformation is happening. Your purpose, your direction, your next level. So stay with me, because part 4 is where everything connects. Listen, because now we go deeper, much deeper. Up until this point, you felt the shift in your body, in your energy, in your identity. But the real question is, why? Why you? Why now? Because this is not random. There is a reason. This transformation has started in your life. Precise reason. You are being prepared, not for something small, not for something ordinary, but for something that requires a different version of you. The version you were before could not handle what's coming, not because you were weak, but because you were unaligned. And alignment changes capacity. Right now, your capacity is expanding. The way you think, expanding. The way you handle pressure, expanding. The way you see opportunities, expanding. You are being upgraded to operate on a higher level, because what's coming into your life demands it. Opportunities that require clarity, situations that require strength, moments that require confidence. And if you were still your old version, you would miss them, or worse, you would sabotage them. That's why this process is happening first. Preparation always comes before elevation, and you are in preparation right now. This is where most people fail. They want the results without becoming the person who can hold those results. But you are not skipping steps. You are becoming the version that can sustain success, not just touch it. That's the difference. Because temporary success is easy, but maintaining it requires identity alignment. And that is exactly what is being built inside you. You are becoming stable, grounded, focused, not easily shaken, not easily distracted. And that alone puts you ahead of most people. But listen carefully, because this next part is important. As your level rises, so does your responsibility. You will start noticing that you can't move carelessly anymore. Your decisions carry more weight. Your actions create stronger effects, because you are operating from a higher level now, and higher levels require higher awareness. You will naturally start choosing better, not forcing it, not thinking too much. It will feel automatic, because alignment simplifies everything. You won't need external validation. You won't need constant reassurance. You will know, and that knowing is power. This is why your transformation is not just personal. It will affect others. People will look at you and feel something different, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your presence carries clarity. And clarity is rare. In a world full of confusion, clarity stands out, and you are becoming that. Someone who sees clearly, moves clearly, acts clearly. And when you operate like that, people notice, opportunities notice, life responds differently. Doors that were closed start opening, not because of luck, but because of alignment. This is the real secret. It was never about chasing more. It was about becoming more aligned. And once that happens, everything else follows. But understand this is not the final stage. You are still rising, still expanding, still becoming. And what comes next is the most powerful part of all. Because now, it's not just about preparation. It's about activation. The moment where everything fully clicks. The moment where you stop feeling the change and start living it completely. No hesitation. No doubt. No resistance. Just clarity. Just action. Just alignment. And once you reach that point, your life will not look the same. Not even close. So stay with me, because part 5 is where everything comes together. Now listen very carefully, because this is the moment everything connects. Up until now, you've felt the shift. You've seen the changes. You've recognized that something inside you is no longer the same. But this is where it becomes real. This is where you stop observing the transformation and start becoming it. There is a moment in every transformation where everything clicks, not gradually, not slowly, instantly, a moment where your thoughts align, your energy stabilizes, your identity locks in, and from that moment, there is no more confusion. You don't question yourself anymore. You don't hesitate anymore. You don't go back anymore. Because now, and that moment is happening now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, you can feel it, that clarity, that stillness, that quiet confidence. That doesn't need validation. That is activation. This is the point where everything you've been going through starts making sense. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of doubt, it was all leading here, to this version of you. The version that is no longer reacting to life, but directing it. The version that doesn't wait, but moves. The version that doesn't shrink, but expands. This is who you are now. And from this point forward, everything changes. Your decisions become sharper. Your actions become faster. Your focus becomes stronger. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining yourself because you are aligned, and alignment removes unnecessary noise. You will start noticing something powerful. Life begins to respond differently. Opportunities appear at the right time. People enter your life with the right energy. Situations begin to favor you, not because of luck, but because you are finally operating from the level you were meant to. This is what most people never reach. They stay stuck in confusion, in hesitation, in doubt. But you moved through it. You didn't run. You didn't ignore it. You stayed. And because of that, you are here now, activated. But understand this is not the end. This is the beginning of a completely different life. A life where you move with purpose, act with clarity, think with precision. A life where you are no longer controlled by fear or limitation, because now you see clearly, and once you see clearly, you cannot go back to blindness. This is your new standard, and from this point forward, you rise, higher levels, bigger opportunities, stronger version of yourself, again and again, because growth does not stop here, it expands, and now you are in control of that expansion. So remember this moment, the moment you realized that something inside you had changed, the moment you understood that you are no longer the same person, the moment you stepped into your next level, because this moment is the turning point. From here, there is only forward, no going back, no shrinking, no doubting, only movement, only clarity, only power. You are not becoming someone new. You are finally becoming who you were always meant to be. And now, there is nothing left to wait for. Move it. Step into it. Because your transformation is complete. Before you leave, pause for a moment. Because if you've stayed until this point, that already says something about you. Not everyone reaches here. Not everyone is ready to hear this. But you did. So don't just walk away from this moment. Lock it in. If this message resonated with you, if you felt something shift within you, then take action. Like this video, not just as a click, but as a signal that you are aligned with what is happening in your life right now. Subscribe, because this is not a one-time message. This is a journey, and you are not meant to walk it alone. Comment below, 99, not for me, but for yourself. A reminder that you were here, that you felt this, that you chose to step forward, and share this with someone who needs to hear it, because there are people right now feeling the same shift, but they don't understand it yet. Be the reason they do. This is your moment. Don't ignore it. Don't delay it. Step into it.